People don't respect what you say. They respect what you show. You can talk about your dreams all day, but if your actions don't match, nobody will take you seriously.
Picture this. A man unwraps what he thinks is his final Christmas gift, only to discover divorce papers inside. But that's not even the most shocking part of this story. What happens next will make you question everything you think you know about trust in relationships. Welcome back to another episode where we dive deep into the most jaw-dropping relationship revelations that have taken the internet by storm. Today's story involves betrayal, deception, and a Christmas surprise that nobody saw coming. But trust me, the real bombshell comes when DNA results reveal a truth that changes everything. Before we get into this wild ride, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're about to uncover some of the most unbelievable relationship drama you've ever witnessed. And stick around until the end because the final revelation will absolutely blow your mind. Let's start with what seemed like a typical marriage. A hard-working husband, a seemingly devoted wife, and what appeared to be their child together. But beneath this picture-perfect surface, cracks were starting to show. The husband began noticing subtle changes in his wife's behavior. She became more secretive with her phone, started making unexplained trips, and seemed emotionally distant. Now, here's where things get interesting. Instead of confronting his suspicions head-on, this man decided to do something that would make any detective proud. He started gathering evidence. Phone records, social media activity, even hiring a private investigator. What he discovered would shake the foundation of everything he believed about his marriage.
She's then going to tell him about how bad he's feeling and how badly hurt she is. He's then going to end up consoling her, when in the first place all he was asking for was a safe place where she could console him on his feelings.
The evidence was overwhelming. Not only had his wife been having an affair, but the timeline of her infidelity coincided perfectly with something else that would destroy his world completely. Remember that child he'd been raising and loving for years? The DNA test results were about to reveal a truth that would change everything. But here's what makes this story truly remarkable. Instead of losing his mind or creating a dramatic scene, this man planned something that would become legendary in the world of relationship justice. He waited. He planned. And he chose Christmas morning to deliver the most unforgettable present in history. Imagine the scene. Christmas morning, presents under the tree, and what appears to be a normal family celebration. His wife opens her gifts, probably expecting jewelry or something romantic. Instead, she finds legal documents that would end their marriage. But that wasn't all. Hidden beneath those divorce papers was something even more devastating. The DNA test results showed 0% probability that he was the biological father of the child he'd been raising. 0%. Let that sink in for a moment. For years, this man had been working to provide for, caring for, and loving a child that wasn't biologically his, all while his wife continued her deception. Now, some might argue that biology doesn't determine love, and that's absolutely true in many cases. But what makes this situation different is the deception involved. This wasn't an adoption or a blended family situation where everyone knew the truth. This was calculated deception that lasted for years. The psychological impact of discovering something like this cannot be overstated. Imagine questioning every memory, every milestone, every moment of joy you shared with what you thought was your biological child. The betrayal goes beyond just infidelity. It strikes at the very core of trust and identity. But here's what's truly fascinating about human psychology in situations like this. The wife's reaction wasn't remorse or accountability. Instead, she immediately went into denial mode, claiming the results were fake, the photos were doctored, and trying to shift blame onto everyone except herself.
The reality of truth is the most dangerous man in the room is never, ever, ever the loudest man in the room.
This response is actually more common than you might think. When people are confronted with undeniable evidence of their wrongdoing, especially in cases involving infidelity and deception, the first instinct is often to deflect rather than accept responsibility. It's a psychological defense mechanism that kicks in when someone's entire narrative about themselves is threatened. The husband's approach to this revelation is worth analyzing. He didn't scream, he didn't become violent, and he didn't create unnecessary drama. Instead, he handled the situation with a level of calculated composure that actually made his message more powerful. Sometimes, the quietest responses carry the loudest impact. This story raises important questions about modern relationships and trust. In an age where technology makes it easier than ever to maintain secret communications and hidden relationships, how do couples navigate trust? When should suspicions be investigated? And when do they cross the line into unhealthy paranoia? The reality is that stories like this are becoming increasingly common. Social media platforms, dating apps, and digital communication have created new avenues for deception. What used to require elaborate planning and coordination can now happen with a few swipes and secret messages. But perhaps the most important lesson from this story isn't about the technology or the methods of deception. It's about the importance of accountability and honesty in relationships. When trust is broken, the path forward requires genuine remorse, complete transparency, and a willingness to rebuild from the ground up. The man in this story made a decision that many would find difficult. He chose to end the relationship rather than attempt reconciliation. Some might view this as harsh, but consider the depth of deception involved. This wasn't a single mistake or moment of weakness. It was years of calculated lies that affected every aspect of their family dynamic. What makes this story particularly striking is how it demonstrates the long-term consequences of dishonesty in relationships. The wife didn't just lose her marriage. She lost credibility, stability, and the respect of everyone who learned about her actions. The ripple effects of deception extend far beyond the immediate relationship. For viewers watching stories like this unfold, there are valuable lessons to be learned.
They will never ever, in their whole entire life, meet anyone like you. They will never ever be loved the way you have loved them.
First, trust your instincts when something feels wrong in your relationship. Second, address issues directly rather than letting them fester. And third, understand that some betrayals are so fundamental that they cannot be overcome, regardless of love or history. The DNA testing aspect of this story highlights another modern reality that many couples face. With genetic testing becoming more accessible and affordable, secrets that might have remained hidden in previous generations are now easily exposed. This technological advancement is forcing a new level of honesty in relationships. Moving forward, this man faces the complex challenge of rebuilding his life while maintaining a relationship with a child he raised, but who isn't biologically his. This situation requires incredible emotional maturity and the ability to separate his feelings toward the child from his feelings about the deception. The Christmas timing of this revelation adds another layer of complexity to the story. Holidays are supposed to be about family, love, and togetherness. By choosing this moment for his revelation, the husband ensured that this Christmas would be unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. Some might see this as cruel, while others view it as poetic justice. This story serves as a powerful reminder that actions have consequences, and deception in relationships always carries the risk of complete destruction. While forgiveness and reconciliation are possible in many situations, some betrayals are so profound that they make continuation impossible. As we wrap up this incredible story, remember that trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Once that foundation is cracked, it takes tremendous work from both parties to rebuild. Sometimes, despite love and history, the damage is simply too extensive to repair. What do you think about this man's approach to handling such devastating news? Was his Christmas revelation justified, or did it go too far? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more relationship stories that will keep you questioning everything you thought you knew about love, trust, and human nature.